Hey there! Well, today is going to be an exciting day. The brain, one of my favorite subjects to talk about. Why? Because we all have one. We all have something very in common, is our brain, right? But our thinking is what's different. So we are going to talk about the brain. And I want you to realize this is a corpus callosum. Super important. I'm not going to tell you right now, but I'm going to tell you in a little while why. These are all different functions of the brain. There's a thinking processing center in there. There's intuition. There's smart. There's all kinds of incredible, impeccable things about the brain that I want you to know. But this is the difference. There's also a mind. And that's what I really want to talk to you about, because where is your mind? Think about that. Is this your mind? No, this is your brain, right? But your mind is your thinking center. It's your spirit. It's like, this is just kind of skin, right? So we have a spirit inside us. So when we see somebody in a coffin, that's their flesh. It's not who they are and what made them them. And so our mind is what makes us us, right? But the brain is the hub. It's the center station for us to think and to change and rewire our thinking to be more positive, or to change old bad habits and behaviors and hang-ups. So one more important thing is, this is our little guy of what you see does hurt you, right? Sometimes we have so much stuff inside our bodies, but we have flesh over this, we wear clothes over this, and then we don't really see what's inside, and we don't take care of ourselves in many, many aspects, because you don't know what you don't know, right? If you don't see it, it won't matter, and that's not true. And that's what I'm here to really tell you. It is important to see beyond what you can see. You want to go deeper into understanding how your body works, how the brain works, how the mind works. Why? Because then you'll know how to work for yourself to become better, to feel happier, to feel a better vibration. So the subconscious and conscious mind. All right. The subconscious, when we're a little infant, it's called in utero stage, that little embryo is starting to form. They used to think that it was just genetics, right? That like gets transformed down into the baby, and that's how the DNA and everything, it starts to grow and build. One cell turns into a whole bunch of cells. That's another gestation, right? That's another law of gestation, because it's a period that that baby's going to grow in. Do you think that that's the only thing that's important, is that the baby is 9 months in that thing and it's just going to get the DNA? No, it gets the emotional state of the mother. Just think of that. What kind of emotional state have you been in while you were pregnant? It makes a big difference in a child. So they say that when the baby is being formed, that it has this little conscious mind already developing in there, that if the mother is upset about something, the blood vessels restrict to the baby's brain. How crazy is that? Scary, right? And it will affect the baby. And also, how does the father come into play? So the embryo is learning its environment. And that's the scary part, is that that environment is what really shapes us as human beings and as people. Whatever you've seen as a little kid is kind of how you develop as an adult. So when the baby comes out of the womb, the first 7 years is where a baby can't think for themselves yet. They're literally dependent on the parents, of what they think, what they say, how they say it, the environment that they find themselves in. They start doing monkey see, monkey do, right? But this is what's being developed that first 7 years. And then the back part of the brain, the next 7 years, actually from 7 to about 12, the back part of the brain is being developed. Now, it makes such a huge impact to understand. This becomes the subconscious mind, right? So it's not necessarily the brain, but it's inside that brain somehow, because the patterns and the wiring that you have imprinted in here is stuck in there. So remember, like when you have a laptop and you're downloading those computers, the different programs, that program is going to run that computer. You can play something on those programs. Now let me ask you, if you didn't play a program for 20 years, but you needed a certain program to run something, and you press that, would it still be in your computer? Yes, it would. I think that's what's really important to remember. The subconscious mind is like a tape player. There's no one in there. So who did I learn this from? There's quite a few different people that really have studied the brain. Bruce Lipton is one of my favorite. He is a neuroscientist, and also Caroline Leaf is a neuroscientist. She's excellent as well. Joe Dispenza is amazing, teaches you about the brain, the subconscious mind, the conscious mind too. Bob Proctor teaches it too. So just so you know, these are all my teachers that I have insatiably learned from, because I am so intrigued and amazed that I have been able to change my own life because of it. When I realized no matter what I went through as a child, didn't matter how horrible, how bad, how tragic, how neglected, how, I want to say, hurt, all the pain that I carried for years that I didn't have to carry, but it was stuck in the subconscious mind. What's even more crazy, I just started reading my journals from when I was 17 years old. Do you know, I was saying the very same thing in relationship that I said back then, 17 years old, that I'm saying at 50. And I realized, oh, okay, that is me. I have to change that program. That program is still in there. You got to get it out. There's different ways to get out of these bad mindset programs. So I just want you to remember though, this is a tape recorder, plays the same tape over and over and over again. If you weren't loved, if you weren't valued, if you weren't enough, you got to be the one to say, I am enough. I am healthy, whole, fit, happy, and complete, and I lack nothing. We need to say these affirmations daily, because this conscious mind is the one that can create new programs. How cool is that? So think of this. You have the one that's filled with all kinds of stuff. This runs you 95%. Your conscious mind is the one that's right here and now paying attention. Now, let me give you an example. If you're in your car driving and you're driving to somewhere that you know really well, like your favorite store, favorite supermarket, you don't even have to think. You're going to be on autopilot. That's what it's called. That means that it's already a program that just knows how to run, and it will just take you there. You could talk on the phone, you could do something else, even though you shouldn't be when you're driving, but people do. But I want you to know, this conscious mind, like if you were coming to my house and you've never met me before, you'd be paying attention how to get to my house. But did you ever go somewhere that you forgot where you were going? And all of a sudden you were going autopilot and you're like, oh my God, today's Sunday, I was driving to work. That's your autopilot. That's the subconscious mind that knows, that's trained, that's programmed. It has all the stuff stuck in it from our childhood. How crazy is that? Though that many long years ago, still stuck in there. So remember, this conscious mind, the way that you can rewire is to be in the here and now, in the present moment, and to say affirmations over and over and over again. Repetition is what re-imprints into the brain, and then it becomes memory. Then it gets stuck in the subconscious mind. Then your program becomes good, right? So like I used to say things like, I wasn't loved, and my parents never loved me. And the truth of it is that wasn't even true. But guess what? My program told me it was true, because society says if your parents didn't raise you, they don't love you. Does that mean it's true? No. It just means that they had a lot of baggage and a lot of hurts, hang-ups, and habits themselves. They couldn't love me. It wasn't that they didn't want to, it's just that they didn't know how. So if we could learn as adults to realize we don't have to take things personal, we could learn that life is whatever we make it and whatever we create it to be. And we can absolutely change the subconscious mind with new wiring in your conscious mind. That's the one that we do the great affirmations. So thoughts are things, which are emotions and feelings, nothing more than feelings, right? Do we not go on feelings all the time? Terrible, terrible. We have to learn not to trust those feelings. Those are just feelings with emotions. And so think of I have done videos on the law of vibration. And so feelings and emotions. So when you feel a vibration of somebody, like a vibe, it gets your emotions and your feelings going. So if you exercise, you get a lot of energy. Energy produces more energy. So we want to remember that we need to change these feelings and get better energy so that our emotions change and it wires into the subconscious mind. Super important. So I want to slow down just for you to absorb that, because that was a lot of information. I love a quote by Einstein. He says, if you can't explain it simple enough, you don't know it good enough. Right? So I'm going to just give you a little cheat sheet. Negative emotions separates the brain. It puts division in it. Right? It makes you sad, it makes you depressed, it makes you think you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you know, you're neglected, or you were unloved, unvalued, whatever it may be. But if you change that harmony and you change that vibration and you change those emotions to positive things, because you're being intentional about being conscious and staying in that conscious mind, and it takes 60 days to rewire a new program. So what does that mean? You need to stay for 60 days. I am healthy, happy, whole, fit, and complete, and I lack nothing. So now I'm going to give you another affirmation that I do every day. I'm abundantly rich, healthy, happy, whole, fit, and complete. And guess what? My brain will listen to whatever I tell it. Your brain will listen to whatever you tell it. Start telling it good things, and you literally have to be intentional about doing it. Write down good things for yourself and to yourself every day. Now, one thing that I want to tell you too, that's an important thing, is this little part in here is called the corpus callosum. I told you that when we first started this video. Now, how do you grow that? Now, monks basically would do meditation, and that's how they grow that little corpus callosum. There's a great breathing exercise that I want to teach you, but I'm not going to teach you to in this video, but it's going to teach you how to grow that corpus callosum, to be able to get the conscious mind to start being working and start being stimulated and start to be able to be active. Because we work so hard on this one, because it's so programmed already with, you know, sometimes negative stuff, negative Nelly, and hurt and pain and trauma can get stuck in here. But we want to rewire it. And so we're going to do a breathing exercise in the next video, and it's going to grow that corpus callosum. That's why monks have a thick corpus callosum. They've done studies, and they get it because of their breathing exercise, because they slow the brain down. Sometimes the brain is just always in that autopilot of like speed, of just going nonstop thoughts, right? Think about how many thoughts you have in a day. It's like the little roommate in there keeps saying all this stuff, and you're like, shut up, just tell it to shut up. Tell it to be quiet. And I'm going to teach you how to slow that brain down and how to be able to start using your conscious mind instead of the subconscious autopilot. But once you start developing that conscious mind more, you will have a better subconscious mind, and it will be your autopilot, but it's going to be healthy, happy, and whole, and you will feel so much better. So I hope you enjoyed this little segment about the brain. It's one of my favorite, and I have a lot more to share with you about it, but this is it for now, and I hope you guys have a great, wonderful day. Today is a great day to have a great day.